It is time for the CBSN Minnesota Morning Update. I'm Jason DeRusha. It's Wednesday. For parents out there, it's the last day before MEA break. Are you letting your kids skip school? Are you going out of town? Today's a big travel day. Make your kid go to school today. If you're sticking around, it's going to be wet. Yep, rainy day today. It's rain and then light rain and light rain. Katie Steiner's here, everyone. Katie likes to play on the Morning Update.
I do. It's very fun. I actually prepared to produce this, so would you like me to?
Oh, Katie's got a whole weather forecast.
Yep, you're welcome.
Look at this.
I'm very excited about it. Okay, so here's a look at our satellite and radar. We've got this, I call it the light round one that's coming through right now, especially in the Twin Cities. If you live to the west, right on the border there of South Dakota and Minnesota, South Dakota and Wisconsin, that would be a real treat.
That would be something, yeah.
You're seeing lightning. But here's a look at the rain right now. Red Wing, Mazeppa, Rochester, a very light rain if you live. Looks like we'll get some rain here in Minneapolis. You can see just a very, very light
Oh, yeah, I can confirm.
Confirm light raining?
There is light rain happening right now. Now.
Is it spitting or like a rain?
It's more of a spit, but there are visible drops on the sidewalk, Katie.
Yep, there we go. Confirmed.
Look at that, live pictures.
Weather watcher Jason DeRusha.
I fill out my report.
Yes, thank you. Here's a look at our forecast. So this is the latest model run. Keep in mind this has kind of constantly been changing, but it does look like we have a solid chance for rain in the noon hour and then just kind of all afternoon. You've just got that rotating low here that we're going to see push rain up 625 again, rain in the Twin Cities. So I would just, once we hit the noon hour, expect it to be raining throughout the day. That's my advice for people.
There it is.
Use the umbrella if you want, use the rain jacket, the rain boots, all appropriate today.
Kind of pretty in St. Paul, right? As you see the sun rising with that's Interstate 94 on the front of the...
And the clouds coming in.
94 in the middle of your screen and then right along the river. Very cool.
Oh,
all right, so enjoy it. You know, what are you going to do? It's going to rain. And then this weekend, more like fall weather. So if you're sticking around for MEA, it'll be your kind of 50s, that sort of a drill, right?
Would you like the 7-day forecast?
Oh, do you get?
People love
let's
that,
ask what the people want. Do you want it?
Definitely. The answer is yes. Always yes for the 7-day.
They said yes.
Thank you. Now you're translating too. This is great. So, so the weekend, definitely more like apple orchard weather. We've got a chance for some frost on Friday and Saturday. And then look at Monday, Tuesday. Really warm up again above average. It's been crazy.
Perfect. All right, Katie, thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's talk about the ice castles, because what we like to do here at Channel 4 is we like to jump ahead several holidays, right? So like yesterday on the news, we had a story about Thanksgiving right around the corner. And so now I'm going to talk about January. Ice castles. Have you been to the ice castles, Katie? Did you go see them? They were in Stillwater a couple years ago, and then they were in New Brighton.
I think we went when they were in Stillwater.
Yeah. I mean,
I
look
love
at
the
this.
walleye.
The drone video is just amazing of these.
I know.
So beautiful.
I think we're going to take Hannah this year.
Oh, she's old enough. She will love it. Yeah.
It's nice to have outdoor stuff to do.
Right, for sure. And that's part of celebrating where we live, right? And that's what we're talking about this morning. So the ice castles will be back. They'll be at Long Lake Regional Park in New Brighton. Terrific news. And they start kind of, they lay the pipes to kind of shoot water up, and then the water creates these ice castles. It has to get cold, of course, but they expect it at the beginning of January it'll be open. So that is our question to you. It got us thinking about kind of winter fun stuff. And what kind of events do you like to do to beat the winter blues? Maybe it's the ice castles for you. Maybe it's something else. So what do you look forward to in the winter to make you kind of, feel good about where we live? So we'd love to hear those comments because I just want joy. I want joy from you today, or jokes. Or jokes.
Can we talk about, I want more wild games like the one we saw last night.
Oh, I think we're going to show that in a minute.
Good.
Let me update you on really the most important news story of the day that we're watching. And this teenager who was shot in Phelps Park. This happened in Minneapolis right around 7 last night. 15-year-old boy hit by a bullet near Phelps Park. We're told he's in critical condition, was in surgery last night. A lot of questions this morning as to why this happened. Why was this boy shot? Was this random gunfire fired into the park? Was this teenager targeted for some reason? Our crews saw markers for bullet casing by a vehicle there. So were they trying to shoot a vehicle and a kid got hit and said, just many questions about this. At the same time, there was a youth football game going on inside the park. Fourth graders. playing in a Twin Cities North Football League. It was Phelps against Brooklyn Center. And one of the coaches tell us that that 15-year-old who was shot is an older sibling of one of the Brooklyn Center players. He was at the park to watch the game. So that's what we're hearing now, but lots of questions about this. The context, 3 other young children shot in North Minneapolis earlier this summer. Those 2 little girls, 6-year-old Anaya Allen, 9-year-old Trinity Addison Smith, both were killed. 10-year-old LaDavion Garrett Jr. still in the hospital this morning, nearly 6 months later, but within a couple weeks he'll be going home, according to the boys' parents. Both of the boys' parents posted this photo on their Facebook pages yesterday, and you see it's the release date on the whiteboard in the hospital room, 11/1/2021. Boy's dad wrote, "I love you, son. LaDavion Jr. coming home. God is good." His mom wrote, "My son coming home." It's one of those things where I think a lot of us were concerned that LaDavion Jr., that there would be no homecoming for him. But we're glad to hear that. So lots of questions as to what happened with that shooting. We'll be on it throughout the day. CDC's Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices starting a 2-day meeting today. They're talking about a really interesting, so on one end, they're talking about boosters. Will they recommend the Moderna and the Johnson & Johnson COVID booster shots? But also today, the FDA talking about this mixing and matching thing. So, for example, I got the Moderna vaccine. There is some research that suggests getting a Pfizer booster might provide better immunity, so a mix and match. Very interesting. So we'll be following that as well. New studies showing the COVID-19 vaccine is even more effective against hospitalizations for kids than it is for adults. For kids, it's 93% effective. For adults who are not immunocompromised, it is 88% effective. So highly effective in both cases, especially if you're you don't have any comorbidities or obesity, diabetes, cancer, other things like that. A little more than 65% of eligible Americans are fully vaccinated. Some parents in the St. Paul School District fighting an emotional fight that you always see whenever a school district proposes closing a school in St. Paul. They're talking about making changes to at least 8 of their schools.
The process is everything. This is a decision that is being made about us, without us.
Yeah, parents packing a school board meeting last night, 1 week after the district announced it might close 4 elementary schools, 1 high school. There are 3 other schools that are essentially being closed, but they're being replaced by something else. Low enrollment is the issue in St. Paul, and families arrived at the meeting on buses, multiple overflow rooms. You get it, right? This is your kid's school. You have an emotional tie to it. So some of those youngsters and their parents sharing their concerns about the potential closures, saying they really didn't feel like they were involved in the proposal drafting process. The comment at the meeting was kept to a strict 30-minute limit, and you can imagine how parents reacted to that.
They didn't even let the rest of the people who have signed up to speak tonight. So that shows us that it's kind of very limited in terms of what they're willing to hear.
Some of us can only be here tonight. We can't come back several times to talk to you.
The district says, they've been working on this for 18 months. This is all, the district says, hey, we've been drafting for 18 months. We did have parent involvement. Well, obviously it's different when you announce which schools you're going to close. So both the parents in the district on this are sort of doing a dance, and it's let's just be honest with each other. Sure, yes, we get it. Parents want to speak up. The board is going to vote on this next month, and there are more public listening sessions before that. The other side of this is parents have to understand that can you have an effective school with 250 kids in it? So these are real challenges, and St. Paul is just one of many districts that are going to deal with this as demographic changes sweep through our school districts. People just having fewer kids. More on this at WCCO.com. MEA weekend is here, and the airport is saying it's going to be busy, especially compared to this time last year, which is a stupid thing to compare it to, right? Hey, compared to when no one was traveling, there are going to be a lot more people traveling. They expect that this week will be below what you would see in the pre-pandemic times, but getting close. So maybe double the numbers on some days of 2020. Airport officials say, a lot of people are out of practice with traveling. Check your bags. Make sure you don't have any banned things in them. And you should plan at least 2 hours before domestic flights and 3 hours before international flights. A North Minneapolis woman is using a captivating sport to encourage women of color. Nastasia Johnson is clearly a woman of strength. Isn't this beautiful? She's using her interest in aerial arts to encourage and inspire young women to build strength, both physically and mentally.
That notion that you can do something that you a couple of weeks ago didn't think you could. And so it helps a lot, especially for adult minds, but also for youth.
They usually tell young people, and especially young black girls, that they can't do much. So seeing somebody say, yeah, you can do it, helps a lot and helps push us forward.
So cool. The strength, the core strength it takes to do some of this stuff. Nastasia hoping to expand her aerial arts programs to more kids group. Her group is called the Black the Black Circus Crew. They're pro citrus as well, but it's the Black Circus Crew will be performing this Friday at Can Wonderland, which is a terrific spot in St. Paul. $10 at the door, 6:30. Take a look at this incredible video, and is it incredible or is it entertaining? I don't know. Are we overbilling it by calling it incredible? Have you ever seen two bucks fight? I haven't.
Definitely entertaining.
It is entertaining. It reminds me of those Nature Channel shows where you watch like animal
fights?
Yeah, and sometimes they become animal dinner. And it's a little astonishing to watch, right? Here you just got $2 who are like, you know what? I am sick of your attitude.
Here's the thing though, like I feel like when you see a buck anywhere, you pull out the camera. But
yeah,
if you would see something like this, that's sweet.
So this is a Washington County Sheriff's deputy. West Lakeland Township, just north of I-94.
I love the music in his. You can hear the
just
music
rocking,
in his car.
Right. That is really funny. Can we roll this one more time?
Yeah.
Can we hear the music?
I know.
Can we pump it up a little bit back there? We'll try to rack it.
And you know it's like 2 in the morning right now. I really don't know.
I mean, this is for sure classic rock that's being listened to, right?
Solid. I love it. Like the perfect soundtrack to this fight.
Yeah. Like odds of this being KQRS, 100% odds. #1 in the Washington County. It's either going to be country music or KQ. Yep. And there it is. So anyway, enjoy that. Katie mentioned the Wild game from last night.
Another fight. I mean,
there was a first period fight,
fighting.
like a drop your gloves and full on like punch out.
I bet they just had so much adrenaline for so many people being in the stands again.
And the Wild and Winnipeg like sort of hate each other, which is part of the fun of having like Canadian teams back playing again. Like we didn't have some of those rivalries last year as we were just playing West Coast teams, I think, last year. So Jewel Eriksson Ek, hat trick last night at the X. Maybe we should call it the
We can rename it the Ek.
Right? Great headline in the Pioneer Press today is the Wild get the overtime win. He scored the tying goal in regulation with just like 59 seconds left to go, I think.
But here's the thing. You were at the game. But I want to know, like, first of all, when did you leave? What was the score? How did you make the decision?
Fair
that's
question.
Hard.
Yeah, I mean, we start here at 4:30 in the morning. So my wife and I were at the game last night. The first period was about 80 minutes, it was about 60 minutes long.
Ooh, that's
very long. So we're like, ooh, we're going to have to leave. So we left after a Wild power play in the second period. I'm like, we got to wait till the power play. Waited till the end of the power play. It was tied when we left.
That's a killer.
It was rough, but then we listened on the radio on the way home, and it's like, oh, this is escaping. And then I was checking as I went to bed, and I'm like, this is looking bad. We're down 2 in the third, and they battled back. So very fun. Timberwolves home opener tonight. So good stuff. All right, let's talk about winter. I know, because this thing is going way over time. So let's run some comments.
I'm sorry. My fault.
It's all of our fault. Jenny, winter blues? What's that? Cross country skiing and snowshoeing. Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks, Jenny. Here's Amber. Same bit. Cross country ski. Right on the golf course. That's fun. Suzanne loves the ice castles, ice sculptures. Yeah, I love the winter carnival ice sculptures and the snow sculptures. Those are cool.
Yeah, those are really cool.
Hot cocoa, good stuff with the special edition to be named later. Maybe a little Bailey's, maybe a little Kahlua. It's your call. Nancy, St. Paul bourbon, St. Paul Winter Carnival. Yep, ice and snow sculptures.
So cool.
This year should be back regular, right? Downtown St. Paul, I hope so. Becca, love to take the son to the ice cream. Baby girl, Becca's got a baby girl due mid-January.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah, you'll
But
be
you can,
busy.
I mean, like in January, you can tuck that little baby in the coat and like be good to go, right?
I know. Becca's got to decide tax purposes. Does she want that baby in 2021 or 2022?
Definitely end of December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bradley, snowshoeing in the backyard at Elm. Oh, Bradley, I bet I'd bike by your backyard then at Elm Creek Park in Maple Grove.
Lit with candlelight. That's pretty bomb.
Yeah, so beautiful. I got a snowshoe. That's my goal for this winter. I haven't gone snowshoeing in a long time. And Maggie's staying home with a few good books and a hot cocoa. Yep. That feels good too.
I'm starting to get like somewhat excited for winter.
Right? You guys did it. You brought us the joy.
Yeah.
Great
I needed
feedback.
that.
Katie, thank you.
Of course.
Thank you for joining us for the morning update. I'm off the next couple of days for MEA break. So Shayla will take good care of you in the morning update. I'll see you on Monday.